watching this game, so we want to give our best to her. 48 years of coaching, and 24 of them have been on the sidelines with the Scarlet Knights.
And she still gets credited with every win and loss, and right now, in terms of her career record at Rutgers, she's sitting at 499. Wouldn't it be something to get to the tournament final with win number 500 as the Rutgers head coach?
Yeah, she surpassed 1,000 wins this year earlier on.
The shot clock did not start on that possession, sitting at 30 seconds. Michael McConnell, Cameron Inoue, Tim Daly, your officials. Tim Eatman, as the acting head coach, is 5-1 this season. As the acting head coach, taking over for C. Vivian Stringer, as you mentioned, Christy, who's taken a medical leave of absence.
And Tim Eatman said that they had to go back to their 55 defense. They wanted to implement that because C. Vivian Stringer said that she would be back in time for the NCAA tournament. And Tim Eatman said the best way to do that is to pressure people defensively and go back to the heart and soul of our team, which is the defensive side.
Here's Wilson for the triple try. And a foul chasing the loose ball.
Well, what you're going to see defensively from Iowa is a 2-3 zone. They pack it in, they move well on the passes.
Foul committed by Mackenzie Meyer. Garantes for three, can't get it. There is a turnover. Iowa didn't even get an offensive possession before they turned it over.
Well, Kathleen Doyle went right into that coffin corner that we diagrammed right there in the open. You can't go to that spot. Rutgers wants you there so they can trap you and deflect it.
Oh, Iowa will keep it. Nearly 2 quick turnovers in the first 45 seconds of play.
Well, Kathleen Doyle told us this morning at practice that the way they're going to handle the pressure is to stay composed. But you also have to be in the proper areas on the court to handle the pressure from Rutgers defensively.
Kathleen Doyle whistled for the foul. So a couple of Lisa Bluter's guards now whistled for the personal. 19th season as the Iowa head coach. A couple of titles here in the tournament in 1997 and 2001. Titles in program history. They challenged Megan Gustafson out of the gates. They've been going down low to give Carey the touch a couple of times.
Gustafson had 4 blocks yesterday, so she's a staunch defender as well on the interior. We already spoke about her being a double-double machine offensively with just under 30 a game, as well as on the glass.
Misses her first attempt. The player of the year, she averages about 27 points per game, 13 rebounds per game.
Rutgers trying to get the zone to shift and move. It looks like they're in man-to-man now.
Carey with the pump fake, blew right past Stewart for 2.
Well, that was a nice read by Stasha Carey on that baseline. You got to show the ball to defenders who will make adjustments with their feet so that clears the path for you to finish.
And Tania Davis will reset. To Stewart from up top. They leave her open. She takes it.
What a year this season for Hannah Stewart. The great complimentary player as Tania Davis tries to go for a steal of her own.
She gets it. What a play. Davis with a little hustle.
And she's little in stature, but mighty in heart. I tell you what. She is the fire and the heart and soul of this team when it comes to leadership qualities.
The little one with the big hustle. Stewart goes back to back. All 4 of Iowa's points.
Well, Megan Gustafson is not the only post player who has the ability to score inside. Another double-figure scorer is Hannah Stewart for the Hawkeyes.
Well, they came in together, close friends. Stewart even braids her hair in the pregame. That's something that they started as a tradition her freshman year.
I love it. This team is so close, Iowa.
The teammates that braid together win together.
There you go.
Rutgers getting back, slowing down any sort of Iowa possible transition. Nice pass by Davis to Gustafson, but they smother her on the catch. Into the corner for Meyer.
But when we spoke with Lisa Bluter earlier today after practice, she said they're going to do a lot of fronting on Gustafson defensively, and they may have somebody up the backside. So we were talking about how well Megan Gustafson reads defenses. Great play there to kick it out for a bucket for Iowa.
Meanwhile, Rutgers, a 1-for-6 shooting start. Carey spinning, looking off the glass. Talk about a tough shot.
Stasha Carey is just so effortless when it comes to getting to the basket, and there is Rutgers' 55 defense. Stasha Carey right here getting to the basket with the up and under move off the glass. And then Megan Gustafson looking for the lob, not there. Carey jamming up the line on the weak side, and a good kick out to Doyle. Doyle, 5 assists a game. Strikes from distance on a pass for 3.
And Megan Gustafson will take a little breather here 4 minutes into the first quarter. 5 new players here for Rutgers. Part of the platoon shift that they have seen to try to keep their players fresh with the way that they're playing, the 55, the pressure. Doyle with it, pops out.
And what Kathleen Doyle also said about handling the 55 defensive pressure is once you get past that line, then you have what you want in the quarter court in terms of them not trapping so much on that side of the floor.
To Meyer for the win. She's got a couple.
Mackenzie Meyer with a grin on her face and a high five for her teammate Tania Davis as Rutgers turns it over.
She had 4 in the quarterfinal against Indiana. She's already got a couple. Four assists on 4 buckets for Iowa. That's Hawkeye basketball at its best. Second in the country in assists. The shoe's flying.
My goodness.
Meanwhile, we play on. Sonano for 2. Who lost the shoe?
Checking?
It's Broughton who lost the shoe.
She's carrying it in her right hand. Well, it's 4 on 5 right now because she's still working on it. She's got a flat tire.
Sky and high for the rebound. It's Giles. And Broughton now with the ball has 2 shoes on. She's ready to go.
Iowa back to their 2-3 zone. They're switching up things, trying to keep Rutgers off rhythm.
Oh, step through move. Couldn't convert. Giles wants it back.
Well, we all love March Madness, but you gotta have both shoes on. Broughton right there, losing her shoe and slipping in the sock. She just throws it to the side like, I'll play in my sock and get it done. March Madness.
Here in her senior year, she told me she has been kind of an underdog her entire life due to the fact that she stands about 5'3". They may stretch it to 5'4" on her sheet. But she missed out on a lot of scholarship opportunities, and she said Lisa Bluter was the one that gave me a chance. She took a chance on me, and then I ended up with a lot of injuries, and so she feels like everything she does, she owes it to her team, she owes it to her coaches for taking a chance on her, and she owes it to her fans who believed in her. So she will be out here fighting for her life because that championship mentality is what she has had her entire life, whether she's an underdog or not.
Yeah, great story, Vera. Thank you for that. She lost part of her sophomore and junior seasons. ACL tears, one to the right knee, one to the left knee. Here is Davis right on cue. That one popped out. Just a kid from Flint.
Yeah, I remember Lisa Bluter being so disappointed and sad for her when she tore her ACL for the second time because she had worked so hard to recover after the first one. And it just broke her heart, she said, because she knew that she had just fought hard mentally and physically to get back in condition.
Played at Goodrich High School, won a couple of state titles there. What'd she do in the time when she wasn't playing? She kind of job shadowed Lisa Bluter. She wants to be a coach someday. Learned how to scout, learned kind of the ins and outs and all the things you might not realize as a player that coaches go through. Trying to feed Gustafson, and she got fouled, really following out of bounds. Broughton kind of bailed her out there.
They're really playing on the high side of Megan Gustafson and then giving some help, jamming her up the line.
Did you see that reaction?
Yeah, she's like, ooh, it's a lot of defense around me. It's not anything new for Megan Gustafson, but she can't even catch it. Usually she at least can catch the ball, which is why a foul was called, but there's not a lot of space down there for her to operate.
Something to be said about the composure that is Megan Gustafson and the physicality that she faces every possession. There's another one, and there's the push and the shove from Harris. That's her second personal. But it doesn't even have to be a play where she catches the ball and when she's just trying to create position.
Yeah, well, you can't chuck the cutter, and you see her face like, whew, it's a lot going on down there, a lot of contact. But that's been a point of emphasis for the officials to clean up post play and not allowing the displacement, not allowing the knee into the hamstring area of the post players. And Megan Gustafson sits down low in there and obviously draws a lot of attention from opponents defensively.
Do it again. Kind of releasing that pressure down low on Gustafson, and Stewart has 6 points.
Well, that's been the beauty of Iowa's team this year. Second in the country in assists, with just over 22 a game. They had 36 assists earlier this season.
One opportunity there for Calhoun.
Rutgers has to manufacture some offense right now. We know what we're going to get defensively from Rutgers, but they've got to be able to put the ball in the hole.
Stewart again gets hacked. Stasha Carey with her first. Rutgers scored the first points of the game, and Iowa has responded a 14-2 answer.
And well, they are maintaining their great rhythm on offense, and you're talking about not just Megan Gustafson scoring for this team. It's well-balanced, inside-outside threats. Stewart, a double-figure scorer, knocks in that first one. And then you've got three-point shooters all around. You've got drivers. You have Doyle facilitating.
Stewart is such a good story. Played 27 total minutes her freshman year, and now in her senior season, she's averaging about that mark, 28 minutes per game as she gets subbed out. A really nice start, 8 points, half of Iowa's points here to begin for Hannah Stewart.
And what a great compliment, as we were saying earlier, to Megan Gustafson inside. And
quick hands there by Doyle. To the lane and the finish, Carey.
Well, that's where Carey has found success, getting to the basket from the drive at high post. Megan Gustafson, the point forward, bringing it up.
I love it. Carey has all 6 points for Rutgers.
Look at the attention that Gustafson gets. Can't throw it straight into her.
Well, 8 minutes played. No points for Gustafson and just 1 shot. Rutgers is sending the message, Iowa, if you're gonna beat us, you're gonna do it without Megan Gustafson.
Well, Tim Eatman told us today at practice we're gonna try to wear her down, and by that he means wear her down in terms of her fighting to get a touch. And that's what they have done really well so far in this first quarter.
So far, no one has been able to kind of figure out the puzzle. Kudos to Iowa State. Held Megan Gustafson to her season low in points of 13. Florida State held her to 16 points earlier this year.
A lot of players would be happy with 13 points and 16 points, but wow, when Megan Gustafson gets it, it's like, what happened? Because she is such a prolific scoring machine.
Meyer is 2 for 3 from 3. Trying to turn the corner and smothered by the Rutgers D.
Well, that's what Rutgers wants you to do. They want you to dribble it, put it on the floor so they can bottle you up.
And it leads to some transition points. Defense to offense, Garantes with the bucket.
Well, that's what Rutgers loves to do. They want to steal and score.
6-0 run. Gustafson still scoreless. How about a second chance? She's 0 for 3.
You're not going to see that much, and Mack traveled with it, so he gives it back to Iowa. But right here, Mackenzie Meyer dribbling right into the traffic, 3 Rutgers defenders there getting a deflection. And Garante is right there on the pull-up J, and I think she has perfected that in terms of the technical skill.
Transfer out of Texas Tech. Rutgers has been able to blend some pieces of some transfers that have made their way to Piscataway.
Just watch how Rutgers is shifting and moving against that zone. Gustafson's way out at the elbow.
Davis looking for the magic touch. Stewart, who is checked back in. Partially blocked. Broughton missing everything. Iowa's not going to get many transition points. You get 4 or 5 red jerseys back for Rutgers. Into the passing lane, that's Carey who forced that turnover.
Well, they're playing the high side. You have to get an angle from the wing, not from the top for post entry.
Here's Wilson for 3. Rutgers storming back. Takina Mack. What do you say?
It's the return of the Matt getting that deflection and stopping pace for Iowa. Right here, bad angle on the pass to the post. Stewart was facing the sideline, so go match that angle by dribbling it that way.
Carey nearly had it. Gustafson misses again. Her first points coming in the final few seconds of the first quarter.
She's not going to miss a string of shots. Started the game 0 for 4 before that one dropped in.
Couldn't get the final shot to fall. Iowa led 16. House even Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates just outside Chicago. Conseco and Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Indianapolis has hosted this coming into this year 22 times, and it will be here through 2022.
I love it here. I just think, you know, the fans come out. They had field trip day on the early games the last couple of days. A lot of kids get to enjoy the atmosphere. It's just a lot of fun for everyone.
That first year taking place back in 1982. That was a double elimination format back in basically a rec building now at Michigan State. Funny how tournaments can grow and develop and get better.
And the game has grown and gotten better. The evolution has been fun to watch as well.
Stewart flirting with maybe a career high day. She's got 10 already.
She has just been consistently excellent in this first half, making Gustafson tough to come by a touch.
Wilson tried to get Davis up in the air.
How about that defense by Davis, containing the paint?
It's 5-5 against 5-3. They're looking at each other eye to eye in that matchup. Davis gets wrapped up. Jump ball. We highlighted this Rutgers defense. We know that it would be key, and it has made a difference here so far.
Well, they've been everywhere. Don't go to the corner. That's a rule. Basketball 101. Steal and score opportunity there. When you dribble the ball, it's easier for the defense to direct you where they want you to go, which is a bad spot. And then on the high side, you're going to get deflections if you try to get it. And then on this last possession, nowhere to go for Tania Davis. Nowhere to go. So 5 turnovers right now for Iowa. Rutgers has been able to score 7 points off of those, and all 7 of those points have been fast break points. So it's a steal and score situation, and that's just what Rutgers wants. You see where they rank all time this year in conference.
And to your point, Christy, that you were bringing up before about the change back. I say back because 55 has always been a C. Vivian Stringer staple, but they had gone away from it this year. And Tim Eatman had said, we got to go back. He made the point that C. Vivian Stringer said, we want to get to the NCAAs. He said, well, to get there, we gotta win some games.
Yeah, we got to buckle down. We've got to go back to our roots defensively is how he worded that.
But to play that defense, everyone has to buy in. Stewart with the turnover there.
And they were working on it today. In practice this morning, they were getting their shifts down to the last minute. You know how important getting those stops will be to advance.
And Vera's got more on Tim Eatman.
Well, Tim Eatman certainly has had his hands full with the end of the year and all of the adversity that has affected the Rutgers team, suddenly finding himself in this interim head coach position or temporary head coach position. And so I asked what keeps him grounded, and ladies, you know, as he shared with us today, he has a son named Tyler. Tyler is 23 years old, and he's on the autism spectrum. And as we were standing there today, he talked about how that keeps him grounded, as stressful as that could be to try to go and win a championship without Vivian Stringer. And we watched as Tyler came and brought his dad some popcorn, and he said, shared the story about how when sometimes he's so stressed about the basketball game or what's coming next, his son will pull him aside and say, "But Dad, did they play their best? Did they try their best?" And he said, "Yeah, they did." And that helps him get some perspective. And I think that's a really special, heartwarming story.
It's a great story, Vera, but right now Rutgers is up against Iowa's best. A couple of defensive blocks there for Gustafson.
55 blocks now for Megan Gustafson. She's not just an offensive machine. She can get it done on defense as well. Watch right here and get a little deflection. Block number 54. And right here, block number 55. She got that one with her left hand. And then on the other end, the in and out by Tania Davis for the finish at the rim. Defense turning to offense for Iowa, just what the doctor ordered for them. All defensive team member Megan Gustafson.
But she's 1 for 7, Christy.
Yeah, 1 for 7 offensively. But if she can, hey, if Stewart can get a bucket down there consistently, let her do that today.
2 points for the player of the year here so far. Deep attempt, Peleg Pelk. She's their three-point shooter. She had a crazy three in the corner last night against Purdue, went off the glass.
She almost got that one to go. It was online, just a little long. I mean, you were talking about the struggles of Megan Gustafson, 1 for 7 from the floor, but Stewart averages 12 points. She has 10 right now, so she's over and above. So she's making up for the absence of the production from Gustafson on the offensive side. But I don't think that's going to last long. We've seen her not start out strong, but she finishes strong.
Davis, no look. Shimano, oh, she couldn't put it away. A pretty pass and an empty result. Timeout for Rutgers.
Oh, just when you thought you were going to have some cereal, you go down. Connective team, Iowa, showing what it takes.
That's my favorite tournament shot right there, with Iowa walking arm in arm to the free throw line. They told us they started it in the one meeting that they had against Maryland. Towards the end of the game, they locked arms. They beat the Terps that day too, by the way. They would lock arms together, 5 as 1 to the free throw line.
And Kathleen Doyle said it's her screensaver. It makes her happy every time she sees it.
Peleg Pelk.
And there's that three. She was just a little long on that last one, self-corrected and got that corner three to fall.
It was perfect in the quarters.
Look at how they're playing Gustafson inside, that high side. Oh, and Mac.
Blocked by Giles.
Giles got all of that on the block.
Foot's on the line. Garante stepped on it, so it's a turnover for Rutgers.
We'll just take a look right here. The high side, you can kind of get a reversal and then try to get it the other way, but really great defense inside, denying a touch. And then Giles right there sending it back with a strong block.
Again, 2 points for the player of the year. Iowa still with the edge. They've led by as many as 12. But it's certainly a different start for Megan Gustafson in this game than in the only meeting against Rutgers back on January 23rd. The three falls for Civilian. Megan Gustafson scored Iowa's first 13 points in that first meeting against Rutgers. She made her first 8 shots. A different story here tonight. Iowa turns over the Scarlet Knights. It's Jordan Wallace who's fronting Gustafson right now. How about the high-low? That works.
Well, there's Megan Gustafson making herself available. After being played on the high side, you have to reverse and snap your feet and go the other way.
is. And a foul call.
Megan Gustafson directs traffic. Hey, send it up here. Let me try to get an angle over there. She said she wants to do her work early and often in terms of getting post positioning inside. And one of the secrets she said that Jan Jansen told her to work on from freshman year to now was to begin your positioning prior to the person who's going to pass it to you catches the ball. So if it's at the point guard, there's a wing on your side and you're on that left block, you've got to already start doing your work when the point guard has it. So when they swing it to the wing, you're already ready to catch it and shoot it.
And she had to learn that, as you mentioned, Jan Jensen, one of the assistants here for Iowa. She had to learn that when she got to college, because in high school, she's just bigger and stronger than most of the opposing players.
Just turn and shoot it. Now she's have to be more crafty in terms of getting a touch inside, even more so tonight against Rutgers defense.
Civilian backdoor to Olinger for two. It's a support cast for Iowa that's getting it done.
There's so much attention being applied to Megan Gustafson. Other players are able to get free on the weak side and up top.
7-0 run here for the Hawkeyes. Largest lead of the game. To a Gustafson wall there. Gustafson, another block. A presence defensively for the player of the year. Meyer can't get that one. And she had a wide open look. Tim Eatman had said in the pregame they're going to try to play 4-on-4 and almost box in one. Megan Gustafson on the transition. Here's Mackenzie Meyer back the other way. Gustafson, how about those hands?
She's got some mitts. That ball had some mustard on it. She was able to catch it and then get the foul. But right here, Megan Gustafson, maybe 1 for 7 from the floor right now, but her defense has been terrific. Right here, all ball on the block and able to keep the possession and push pace the other way.
You don't say this very often, but Megan Gustafson almost has as many blocks as points. Look at that. 4-3. Earlier this week, when we talked to Megan, actually on the Women's Sports Report, which will be coming up again this Monday at 6, she told us on that show, I asked her, do you feel the pressure of getting to those numbers in your averages? And she immediately said no, because I trust my teammates.
Right.
And we're seeing an example of that here tonight.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, she's got the biggest smile on her face when her teammates hit a shot, running up the court, telling them way to go. I mean, that's what being on a team is all about. It's the selfless desire for team success.
1 bucket for Rutgers this quarter. 4 turnovers for the Scarlet Knights. And Iowa has doubled him up. Garantes, soft touch.
Yeah, Garantes changed her shot in air. I think she was thinking about passing it underneath, but pulled it instead.
The turnover and a quick shot, quick trigger for Wilson.
There's that 55 defense. Tim Eatman said, hey, they need Gustafson to break that press. She's up in the middle, trying to get a touch.
Yeah, even if Iowa doesn't turn it over, they're trying to work this team. They're trying to work Megan Gustafson, the rest of the Hawkeyes. Yeah, they will sub in sometimes 5 for 5 for fresh legs. Garantes with the spin move, going up against Gustafson. And the tap out. Meyer with the chase is on.
And that was a 50-yard dash, and who's going to get to the ball? Mackenzie Meyer turned the Jets on and got those feet to turn over quickly.
The leading scorers for Iowa, you've got 10 for Stewart and 8 for Meyer. Count the bucket.
Rutgers not going away by any means. They've been able to turn Iowa over, and that's been the bulk of where their offense has come from.
Yeah, from 3 primary players. Gustafson with another 2. She's got 7 now. A quiet first half, but her team still leads by 11.
those 9 turnovers. And Rutgers has scored 9 points off of those. But they've been able to stay pretty steady in the quarter court in the last couple of minutes. Looking for some continuity, but they turned the ball over there on the travel.
The 9th turnover, Jordan Wallace walked with it. Rutgers has gotten 20 of its 23 points from 3 players in this first half. And Wallace will be whistled for the foul.
I mean, you can't displace post players, and that counts. Like if you're coming across the lane, they call it chucking of the cutter. So what that means, you can't impede the progress of the post player trying to make a clean cut. That's the freedom of movement rule.
Stewart on the block. The screen for Meyer. Back to Meyer. Has a couple of threes. Nearly had a third.
That was halfway down and rolled out, but great action on the inside out and the repost. Rutgers looking for something to the rim here to close the half.
Montez, nothing there. Wallace.
Just an easy shot there right in the paint. They needed that from some momentum.
4 seconds, Meyer all the way. How about Gustafson battling for it? Yes!
Megan Gustafson going to work. Look at Kathleen Doyle. She's been in the weight room. She's been in the weight room out here. I just love the love that they show to each other on the court.
You would think Doyle made the bucket.
Right. So much respect for one another on the floor.
Half-court heave. We've seen that story from Megan Gustafson before. Hit a late emotional bucket against Indiana last night. It does it again against Rutgers. And just like that, she's in double figures. 10 points here in the first half, but man, she had to work for it. Vera's with Lisa Bluter.
Coach, you're shooting almost 50%. They're shooting about 31. You've got to be happy about your own defense, but theirs gave you a little problem.
Research, a season low in terms of half scoring for Megan Gustafson was 6 points against Wisconsin and Iowa State. And that little charge that you had mentioned, Christy, got her into double figures once again for the season.
Gustafson starts the second half with those 10 points. She has 7 boards and 3 blocks.
Turnover on the first possession, much like the start of the first half. And Wilson kind of even made it tough on her.
Well, the defense is definitely where it needs to be, but for Rutgers, they've got to get some shots to fall. They're shooting 28% from the floor right now, and 2 of 12 on their layups. And a lot of those have been like that in fast break situations, just coming up short.
Poked it away.
Gustafson again trying hard to get a touch inside. And Rutgers negating.
Turn around, Stewart went tumbling. No, Carey with the 2.
Well, Carey has been the most consistent, as she has been the last 5 games for Rutgers, averaging 17 points in that span.
Gustafson blocked from behind by Carey.
Gustafson catching it far too low to make a great shot in terms of getting a good angle on the rim. She was underneath the backboard trying to get that one up with 3 people behind her.
Down low, turn, jump hook. How about it? Vicki Harris.
And Vicki Harris, great footwork inside, up and over the front of the rim.
10-point edge now for Iowa. Giving up that shot to Stewart, and she passes it up. And again, there's the bump on Harris. That'll be her third on guarding Megan Gustafson.
Yeah, well, Vicky Harris right there pushed Gustafson with two hands on the back. You can't displace the player. And, you know, I played post, and it's already hard enough to hold your position, especially me, because I was slight built back in the day, and it was tough to hold that spot. So when you're getting two hands shoved or a knee, it's hard to hold that spot without all that.
Well, she's drawn 6 fouls already in this game. How would you guard Megan Gustafson, by the way?
You have to stay loose. She wants you to give that kind of contact. So you have to stay loose, give some distance to her. You know how guards have to give an arm's distance for a ball handler? That's what you have to do with Gustafson. Give her an arm's distance.
Got Mack up in the air. That is something that we don't see enough of Megan Gustafson.
Yeah, Lisa Bluter has said she has range, but we haven't needed for her to do that. But they may have to release her from that block because it's been so tremendously tough for her to be productive down there.
Rip out from Stewart. And they help Takia Mack up. Love seeing that teammate hustle when a teammate goes down.
Now, always. It's not just help the helper on defense. It's help your teammates when they're on the ground. That's one of your helpers.
And another turnover. The 10th here of the game. Point advantage here for Iowa. Doyle on the push, out to Meyer, has a couple of threes. Now she's got 3 of them. 7 3-point makes in the last couple of games for Mackenzie Meyer.
Well, that's one way to beat the 55 defense. Push the ball up the floor with a dribble, and then kick it to the corner for a transition 3 for Mackenzie Meyer.
And isn't that what Lisa Bluter had said today?
Yes.
And the fact that it can cause you trouble in the back court, but if you can get it to the front court, you have usually a numbers advantage. There's a foul on Gustafson.
Well, an easy press offense is to get the ball and go. Great pass right there by Davis. Beat the second and third line of that 55 defense and finding Meyer in the corner for the triple.
State Farm assist of the game leading to the Mackenzie Meyer 3.
Well, nice execution there, but you have to be consistent with that execution. Now you know that's how to break it. You have to go back to it.
Mackenzie Meyer has been pretty consistent throughout her career in terms of 3-point makes. She's got 50, flirting with 50 for the season, but she's got about 40 or so her freshman and sophomore years. Tied for 10th in the Big Ten. Here's Davis, who will give it a try.
And Rutgers is a team that's familiar with playing from a deficit their last couple of games in regular season. The last one being with Ohio State. They found themselves down 13 at halftime as the bucket goes in for Rutgers on the interior, but they have the fight in them. So don't count them out just yet, but right now Iowa is clicking, and that 55 is not effective because they've been able to wiggle by it.
They were trailing by 9 at about the half. They were trailing by as many as 16 in that Ohio State game. Rutgers, as you said, knows all about comebacks. Trailing by 13 here. 15 is the largest lead in this game.
And Tim Eatman said at the halftime of that Ohio State game, he challenged him. He said, we're down 13 right now, but what do you want to do about it? As Gustafson gets one to go on a clean entry pass and finish.
Lead is back up to 15 now. If some people think good, true post play is dead, watch Megan Gustafson tonight.
Alive and well. Alive and well.
Girates sneaking a pass into Carey. And the rebound to Gustafson. They're even attacking her on the rebound.
And Jordan Wallace, just a little bit too much extracurricular contact on Gustafson's back.
Gustafson fan club made its way all the way from Fort Wayne, Wisconsin. Small town, tiny town, of course, on the shores of Lake Superior. And Megan Gustafson and Jolene Anderson, too, of Wisconsin. Both players of the year here in the Big Ten. Went to a tiny high school, about 55 students. That's freshman through senior year. Amazing the talent that you can produce in a school that only produces 55 students.
I mean, but wow, Megan Gustafson on the block call there on Vicki Harris, and that is her 4th.
Well, you go up there, Fort Wayne, Wisconsin. Got to have a map there to find it. Jan Jensen, who is one of the recruits, or one of the recruiters of Megan Gustafson, that's where she spent a lot of time. There she is. She went back to her hometown this summer. That's where all these photos are from. Look at how beautiful it can be there in the summer.
I love it.
Small town girl. And there is a look at Lake Superior.
The player of the year in the Big Ten this year studied Kareem Abdul-Jabbar online to watch his mechanics with her footwork.
The tip there for Carey. By the way, Vicki Harris has picked up her 4th for Rutgers. Jan Jensen went up to Wisconsin to recruit Megan Gustafson, and said she lost cell service, even had to rent a car where you grab the keys out of like a tin can on the wall.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's how homey it is to recruit someone like Megan Gustafson up there.
No regrets on the keys in the can. I mean, hey, do what you have to do.
And a white-knuckle drive on one of her visits up there in a snowstorm. You can imagine.
Well, I'm sure she doesn't regret that either. One of the nation's best players up for National Player of the Year, not just Big Ten Player of the Year.
Yeah, she's up against some of the best, though, across the country. Asia Durr of Louisville, Sabrina Ionescu from Oregon, Arike Bumbawale, Notre Dame.
Yeah, some great names, and all of them do different things, so it's tough. It's like different fruits. It's apples and oranges. Which one do you prefer? Do you like that Megan Gustafson is a double-double machine, or Asia Durr? I mean, it's tough to choose.
Leads the country in several offensive categories. It was announced that she's one of the finalists for the Wooden Award. Gets it out to Doyle, makes the 3. Kathleen Doyle's first 3-point make of the night. Iowa's rolling, up by 20, 7-0 run. Hawkeyes can try to smell a spot in the championship.
And their fans love it. You see that sign? Megan, number 10, rocks. Hey, it's not
as the number 2 when they finished 2nd in the conference, and Maryland's right behind them as a 3 seed.
Well, they defeated Maryland in their only regular season contest in conference. And their resume was strengthened because of that win. So that may have tipped the scale in favor of Iowa in that regard. Now, Iowa lost to Indiana by 2 points down the stretch in regular season. So they did have that, but I just think that maybe the resume looks a little cleaner.
Garantes gets the bucket. Well, obviously, the top 16 seeds, if you follow women's basketball, they get the right to host in the NCAA tournament. Transition left for Meyer. They were few and far between, but executed perfectly there.
Well, get the ball to the middle of any kind of pressure like that, and then look up the floor, because all of the heavy pressure is up top. Not a lot in the backcourt. You're going to be able to get right to the rim like Iowa did there. Great execution in their press offense.
Largest deficit that Rutgers has faced this year against Maryland, by the way. It was 22 points. We mentioned the largest comeback was 16 against Ohio State. But they're trailing by 20 now. Now it's by 18. Garantes has found her jumper.
Just clean looks.
Doyle, no call.
There's clean looks in that press offense, though. Just, they cleared one guard out to one side, and the next one came up right to the middle, and right down the pike they went.
Wilson kind of questioning her own shot. She hesitated a little bit. And Civilian doesn't have the numbers, so she'll slow it up. Lisa Bluter has told her team today, you know what, we are going to turn it over against Rutgers. That's probably a guarantee. It's going to be tough to go through a whole game with 0 turnovers, but let's be composed and unfazed when we do turn it over.
Absolutely.
We will take a timeout. 3 minutes left to play in the third. Bluter's Hawks with a comfortable lead here so far.
Against a buzzsaw of a defense that is Rutgers 55 full court press.
And they're trending in the right direction with turnovers to 5, to 4, to 2. Maybe they will get to 0.
Yeah, well, they had
in
to
the
figure
fourth quarter.
They had to figure it out.
Every Iowa player has a field goal tonight.
And that's the balance of this team. We spoke about their assist numbers and how spectacular those have been. And they get more excited on making a pass than making a shot. And that's what Lisa Bluter's culture has been over the years.
Gustafson out of the game right now.
Gustafson and Doyle sitting for the Hawkeyes. And
one on the shot clock. Davis had to put it up. Stewart with the offensive rebound. It went off her foot.
And they played yesterday, obviously. And if the score holds through the next quarter and 2.5 minutes, then it'll be 3 games. So you have to be smart with the players who play heavy minutes if you're possibly looking to play 3 back-to-back-to-back games and be successful at it.
Carey with the kick out to Garantes. Rutgers got to find some offense and find it quickly. They're running out of time.
Yes, and we've seen them be challenged and come back and win. And we already referred to that in that Ohio State game. We thought, you know, you look at it and, well, it's the end of the third quarter. They're down by 15, 16 points, and they made a push to win it.
Some of the differences, though, where they ran down a Purdue team, really in the quarterfinals. Purdue looked tired in that game. Purdue was affected by the defense, and we know that the defense leads to the offense for Rutgers. If they have to settle for some half-court sets, it's going to be a struggle for the Scarlet Knights.
Yeah, no question. They've got to generate their offense from their defense, but they haven't been able to turn Iowa over since early on in the game.
Backdoor look there for Mack with the reverse.
Let's take a look right here. Stewart just trying to take the ball out of bounds and kind of gives a little bump to Mack.
Stewart was whistled for the foul there.
Yep.
And Mack's reaction there, frustrated.
And some more things. She's just a little upset.
Garantes taking the contact on Sinano.
Well, you can see, even though Rutgers isn't getting a lot of fast break opportunities because of steal and score in their 55 press or in their quarter court defense, they're attacking the paint in the quarter court. They were successful in their previous possession. But you were talking about the defensive energy that they had against Purdue. They held Purdue 0 for 9 to start the fourth quarter. They didn't score. Purdue did not score until 4:08 to go in the fourth, and Rutgers had gone on a 14-3 run during that time. So they're capable of applying that kind of pressure, but they've got to manufacture some offense because of the pressure.
Yeah, and Iowa breaking the pressure like it's nothing now.
Right.
As Megan Gustafson is getting set to check back in, that's maybe a missed opportunity for Rutgers to play those last few minutes without Gustafson in the game.
Exactly.
Iowa taking its time. Doyle from the corner for 3. Final few seconds. Shot. It's just raining for days.
A moon ball 3.
Peleg Pelk. A 9-0 Rutgers run. Good catch, coach.
Look at this pass right to the corner. Malek Peck knocks it down, rips the nets, and gets right into that 55. You see after that ball goes in? And then right there, Coach Tim Eatman with the great hands and reactions. 2 hands on the catch.
Coaching in his 7th game as the acting head coach for Rutgers. They're 5-1 during that time. Shot clock still in play here for Iowa. And 3 to shoot. Davis with the hesitation.
And every time she takes a tough spill like that, you know, you go back to what Vera Jones told us about the 2 ACL injuries that she encountered her first couple of seasons in an Iowa Hawkeye uniform. But she is as tough as they come. You see her trying to shake it off and get her mind right to get these free throws in. And you see the brace there on her left knee.
She returned in the season opener really for the first time since December of 2017. Let's check back in with Vera.
Yeah, on the knee issue, I asked Tanaya what, on an average scale, 1 to 10, how do her knees feel? And she said, well, to be honest, about a 7 on days where she's really competing. When she gets a couple of days off, she said it's like no problem whatsoever. It's a 10. That may be a concern if they advance and move on. Certainly she would want 10 knees if they are to move on and play against Maryland.
They only met for 1 time in the regular season. Gustafson picks up the foul. That's a game that Iowa won in Iowa City on a Sunday afternoon. A great crowd there for that game.
And right here you see like maybe a push off there initially, but Megan Gustafson whistled for the foul on the shot.
That's her second. 14 points and 9 rebounds for Gustafson. First year for Garantes since transferring from Texas Tech. And second in scoring here on the team, but lately part of this stretch and the fact that they had won 4 straight, the fact that Garantes has found her shooting stroke during that time.
Yeah, she sure has. And you know, when they get into that quarter court, she's been the most deliberate in terms of finding her shot.
And the foul committed on the ball there on Broughton. That is her 3rd.
Yeah, she was holding Doyle back here, and they got their arms tangled up.
And so Kathleen Doyle will go to the free throw line. Kathleen Doyle would be a terrible poker player because she just rides her emotions on her face. And she will be the first to tell you that. She's a competitor. We had a conversation with her and Megan Gustafson at the same time, and we were asking about the composure of Gustafson, and Kathleen butted in, and she said, if that happened to me, I'd probably get thrown out of the game.
Well, she's my spirit animal because I just love the fire and the passion of Kathleen Doyle.
Broughton tried to beat the buzzer. That won't count. Didn't get it off in time. 57-44, 10 more minutes. The Hawkeye championship spirit is alive, looking to punch their ticket. The player of the year, and the Hawks would like another chance at the Terps. Our stage manager sitting with us, Gail Green. She's kind of the mother here. You know, some of the camera crew. We got Eric and Jason and Dave and Terry, Garza, Kaz, and Pigeon. Of course, our lead engineers, Wes Goldstein, Matt John, Randy Wise, Peter Walker, Eric Weber, Sean Spencer, our operations coordinator, Ryan Muller and Alex Klein, Foxbox, Nick and Kevin, video at Jeff, lead tape, Danny, Nisha, Travis, J-Dub, associate director, Sean and Mike, graphics coordinators, of course, Struckman, Courtney, Derek and Catherine, and our TDs, Alex Bippis and Bob Reppin. A lot of names there to thank, and of course, in management, they make all the tough choices, and a big welcome to our new BTN president, Francois McGillicuddy, and senior vice president, Mark Halsey, coordinating producer, Sue Marriott, Quentin Carter, VP of Studio Production, and our Senior VP of Programming, Michael Calderon. So all of those people, a team here at the Big Ten Network, and a big thank you, because there's a lot of people behind the scenes that get this job done.
Oh, no question about it. And you, my friend, it's been always a blast to work with you guys and Vera and everyone that you just mentioned. I mean, it's always a team effort. And I just love being on this team. I love being on a team in general, but to be on this team has been truly special over the years.
A lot of hours go into it, a lot of days, a lot of timing. Megan Gustafson with another 2.
And a lot of time has gone into honing her craft. I mean, Megan Gustafson, one of the most special players in collegiate basketball this year, leading all scorers this season, and that's saying a lot because there are some tremendous women's basketball players in action.
How about again from the corner? How long? What kind of hang time does that have?
We need a stopwatch to see how long that hangs up there.
Noga Pelk. Played on the national team, some of the under 16, under 18, under 20 teams with Israel. One of the freshmen on this team. Pelk. She's shooting a real good percentage.
Here it is. She was calling for it, wanted it back out there to try it again. Doyle almost got caught up in that coffin corner again on that entry pass. The trap came tight.
Turnaround player of the year is back.
Yeah, Vicki Harris with those 4 fouls really couldn't be much more physical than she was on that particular play. Had to sit straight behind and not take any gambles or risk to foul out.
Another double-double for Megan Gustafson. Now 29 here for the year. It's a new Iowa record. She broke her old record, by the way. Broughton for 3.
3 is starting to fall now for Rutgers, but they've got to get some stops, and there's one right there.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time to play here. And when you can shoot the 3, you can get back in it.
Pelk, splash from the outside with the moon ball.
Pelk. It's a mouthful.
I was thinking splash. It all kind of combined in one.
Noga to all her friends.
I'll say that next time. Noga, it's a lot easier.
Carey got Gustafson in the air. Burned her with the pump fake.
Single-digit lead only now for Iowa, and Rutgers turned Iowa over. Plenty of time on the clock.
It's a 9-point game. The lead was as many as 20.
We said that Rutgers is never out of any game because of how they play on the defensive end. They're able to get some stops, get Iowa to turn it over.
How about this move from Carey?
Stasha Carey trying to size up Gustafson, show her the ball, come back the other way. Smooth move right over the top of the rim. And on the other side, trying to get a bounce pass into Gustafson, not there.
Good post play, not just coming from Megan Gustafson tonight. Mack, she even took the contact there from Megan Gustafson, who got part of the ball on that.
Yes, she sure did. Had to double clutch it to finish.
61-54, it's getting interesting.
55 coming alive. 55 for Rutgers here.
And Tim Eatman is even working it on the sideline. Lisa Bluter's seen enough. She's got to call a timeout.
Well, Rutgers knocking on the door. Single digits they've cut into the deficit to Kia Mack. With the hang time right there and the finish and the emotion of the moment. And look at Tim Eatman get up, 55.
16 total against Ohio State. Takia Mack liked a little bit of that.
And a little aggressive Macarena and a dab for good measure at the end of it, when she was just going to town. But Tim Eatman challenged the team at halftime of that Ohio State game and say, are they better than us? Or are they just executing better? And they came out and just went to town, cut into that deficit, and took the lead, and eventually won it.
So what can Iowa do? Meyer had hit 3 threes, couldn't get it that time.
Well, they had found success at getting the ball to Gustafson inside. They got to go back to her.
Vicki Harris in for Rutgers, and she's playing with 4 personals. Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Again, the winner gets to the championship game. Lisa Byington, Christy Winter-Scott, and Vera Jones with you. Wilson off the glass for 2. Oh, boy.
Yep.
What do we have here? A 9-0 Rutgers run.
And what we have here is a Rutgers team that has no quit in them. See, Vivian Stringer has taught them never to quit and never to give up. Tim Eatman and the staff remaining has reiterated that fact.
Double team coming for Gustafson. Turnover the Hawks.
Well, Rutgers not going away. Wilson right here driving with the left hand and got it to go off the glass. And right here, too deep really to do anything with it on the catch. Gustafson in a crowd loses it out of bounds.
3 turnovers this quarter after we showed you that they were trending in the right direction in terms of taking care of the basketball. That's what this Rutgers defense can do, can wear you down. Step through move. Noga got it. Oh, Noga.
Noga with the floater. Tough shot. Degree of difficulty on 1,000. One possession game. And Stewart coming back alive. She had those 10 points in the first half. Season average at 12, but she has been quiet. They need to get back to her too and go for those high percentage shots in the paint.
Stewart nearly got a piece. Carey off the rim. And a foul there on the floor. It's the push-off on Hannah Stewart.
Well, you said that Pelk played on that national team in Israel. Ooh, the Euro is just nasty. Oh, look at everybody on the bench loving life right there. And Stewart taking a nice hard cut for a finish in the lane. Iowa needs more of that action.
To Wilson. She's had a tough time back there. Follow through. The tip is good for Carey.
Carey got right in there when that shot was in the air and got her position to get that finish. Oh, the coffin corner again, almost coming up big for Rutgers defensively in that 55.
They got the Hawks thinking a little bit. Davis crosses the timeline. 3-point lead for Iowa.
Look at Vicki Harris fronting Megan Gustafson inside. Tough for her to get a touch.
18 and 10 tonight. But a tough 18 and 10 for Gustafson. Meyer, Iowa needs it back. Rutgers can tie with a 3.
You see Tim Eatman saying, hey, slow down. Set up an offense.
She got smothered.
That's why you have to listen, and that's not saying anything bad about Wilson, but you want to get a good quality set, and you can't take it in there. You've got Stewart and Gustafson waiting for you at the rim. And then right here, no one's there to box out Carey on that tip-in on the last offensive possession.
Iowa basketball.
Well, right here, you see Pelk right here. The last one to touch it, couldn't pull it down. Call was correct.
Step through move for Davis.
I thought she got away with maybe a little extra half step on the step through.
Iowa needs a bucket. A 13-2 run, really in the last almost 5 minutes of this game.
Fronting again. Look at Vicki Harris.
It's got to be a perfect pass, and it was. Tania Davis.
Tania Davis with the laser beam pinpoint pass on the lob to Gustafson. Nobody there on the weak side soon enough to contest.
The 20th assist for Iowa. They averaged 22. Winner to the title game to take on Maryland. Spin move for Harris. Up and over the player of the year. And a timeout for Rutgers. They've got one left here in the game.
It's going to come down to execution and discipline, just like it did in game one in the semifinals earlier. Vicki Harris, strong move, 2 dribbles inward and rip it back to the baseline for the finish. And look at defense too late on that weak side. Gustafson makes Rutgers defense pay on that.
How do you get the composure back for Iowa?
They just have to be more deliberate offensively. So just because it was successful that time, it may not be on the next possession, so you have to be smart.
They say Iowa only scored 8 points so far in this fourth quarter. Let's check in with Vera.
Hey, I don't want to overstate the obvious, but it was simple. Keep the pressure on, stay composed, but just keep the pressure on. So I would expect they're looking for a steal, and they are certainly looking to be able to be composed when they get back on the offensive end.
Gustafson still working for it inside, but there's Carey waiting on that back line.
To Davis, the senior, trying to send her team to the championship. String music from number 11. Garantes got Gustafson back up in the air. That's foul number 3.
How gutsy is the senior Tania Davis. The kick out from Doyle, feet planted, boom, all net for Tania Davis. Small but mighty, heart and soul. 3-ball corner pocket.
Tania Davis, the one that...
Yes, play it, Tania Davis. String music.
Four-point edge. Plenty of time. What a couple of semifinals we're showing you tonight on the Big Ten Network. A 1-point victory for Maryland to advance, and now this one is close. A 2-possession game. The lead was 20 for Iowa. Rutgers has never been to the Big Ten championship game. Drop down to Stewart. Guess who got the assist? Tania Davis.
The one and only. The conductor.
The supporting cast for the Hawkeyes have been some of the stars tonight. Out to Wilson for 3. Gustafson with another board, her 11th of the game. And a timeout for Lisa Bluter. One of her 3 that she had left. She came all the way out to half court to call that.
I didn't know. I thought she was doing the YMCA of Dance for a Minute, trying to get that timeout. But Iowa gets that timeout with a seed. But right here, Tania Davis breaking down the defense, committing and dishing weak side to Hannah Stewart for the finish. What a strong couple of the basketball. All of the assists aren't going inside to Gustafson. They swing. They get it inside out. They have threats all over the court. They have Davis penetrating and dropping off. They have a well-balanced, oiled machine.
No fouls this quarter for Rutgers, so they got to hustle here with fouls to give in just 24 seconds. They got to get to 5 to force Iowa to the free throw line.
Well, they've got a foul on the catch. I can't wait for them to dribble it around or make an extra pass. It's got to be right away.
They let some time tick off. I'm not sure what they're doing. They're letting Iowa dribble this out.
5 seconds went off the clock on that one.
And just the second team foul. You got to send them to the line. It's just a 2-possession game.
It's got to be right away.
Broughton will check back in, as he's got 3 personals. Harris is the one with 4. There's the immediate foul. 3 team fouls. 2 more to come before they send him to the line. I burned about 6 seconds here trying to pick up 5 team fouls. Ooh, Wilson's got to be careful.
You got to make a play on the ball.
And it's not unsportsmanlike.
Got to make a play on the ball, and what that means is you can't just push or come through the body like that. That may have been close to being reviewable.
And there's the 5th. And Tania Davis, an 87% free throw shooter coming into tonight.
Well, the whole team across the board. I mean, it's not going to be situational or Hawkeye situation here.
Hacka Hawkeye. Say that 5 times fast. Look at your choices there. Good luck.
Yeah. It just goes back to the balance that we were just discussing. I mean, no weak links. No weak links.
This Iowa team fell short of a regular season championship. They were right there with Maryland. They defeated the Terps in the only regular season meeting. Tied in terms of the conference standings, they gave up a lead against Indiana. They had a 16-point advantage and lost to the Hoosiers. And don't think this coaching staff and the players don't think about the missed opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably cost them a piece of sharing the regular season Big Ten title.
It did. It opened the door for Maryland. So an opportunity here to win a championship for this team this year. Helen Kelk is not going away. She lost her shoe.
What's going on with the shoes today coming off the feet?
What's going on with no good shooting?
It's March Madness.
The hot hand. Where has she been? 14 points. Has been automatic tonight. 4 threes.
The shoes and the shot. Oh, slipped right out. Her foot popped right out of the shoe. But I tell you what, there's a lot of heart in this Rutgers squad. I mean, talking about
Ira was their point guard, their third leading scorer, leader on the defensive side in assists and distributing the basketball. Jenkins was your leading rebounder. You're without 2 of your best players. You're without your head coach. You earned yourself the 3 seed in this tournament and getting to the semifinals for the first time in program history.
Well, I spoke with one of Rutgers' assistant coaches, Kelly Gibson, at practice today, and she was just saying this is a resilient group. They're not looking for excuses why it can't happen, but they're really, Stringer has given them the tools to operate the program how she wants it run.
You see the effect up and down and all across this court and the way they've played here tonight. Iowa called another timeout, so the Hawkeyes here have 1 left in the game. It'll be Stewart who takes it out. 11.7 seconds left. They turn it over. Rutgers still with a sliver of hope with the time winding down. They gotta hurry. And Iowa stopping the clock because they got some fouls to give. That's a smart play.
That
Just
is
3 team fouls here for Iowa.
A very smart play.
Not gonna do any harm. In fact, they got another foul to give. You might see them do it again.
Yeah, right here, steal and a push, and a nice pop out by Doyle coming from behind to take a little more time off the clock because that ball was on the move. Lisa Bluter instructing the team, take one more foul.
Moga got blocked. Championship is still in the sights of Iowa and Megan Gustafson. The Hawkeyes are off to the championship game to face Maryland.
Strong team effort by Iowa. You saw Megan Gustafson struggle early, 1 of 7 from the floor, and then got her game together. Teammates settled in to attacking that 55 defense by Rutgers. Took a 20-point lead, and then Rutgers came storming back. Put it to a 1-possession game, but Iowa will be moving on, hands clasped together as a team.
Yeah, the fight for Rutgers is admirable. The response for Iowa, also something to admire. 72-67, the final. These Hawkeyes will meet Maryland for the 2nd time this year. They cannot wait for that matchup.
Another double-double for Megan Gustafson with her 20 points and 12 rebounds. Really got things going, but they had 3 players scoring double figures.
Megan Gustafson had to work for her 20 and 12. Her 29th double-double of the year.